I am going to be revealing 5 altcoins that I'm accumulating. Some I'm currently buying, some I'm planning on buying, and I want to break down the theses behind all of these coins and explain to you exactly what my plan is. If you are new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button below because I upload crypto videos every single week to help you succeed in the market, as well as smashing the like button to show the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy this style of content. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video, the list of the 5 altcoins that I am accumulating. So the first thing I want to note is that the vast majority of my portfolio allocation is still weighted towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is because I DCA into Bitcoin and ETH every single month. This video will be focusing specifically on the smaller portion of my portfolio, which is saved for both long-term spot accumulation of altcoins that I like, and also short to medium-term altcoin accumulation of coins that may have a different time frame. So in today's video, a couple of the altcoins I'm going to discuss are more short to medium term, and I'm going to make sure to define my time horizon, and the other 3 altcoins are more long term. So I think it's always important when we make an investment to determine what the time horizon of that asset is, and of course this often does alter the allocation that you do put into these coins. So I do want to say, of course, this video is not financial advice, but also if you do choose to invest in any of these coins on your own accord, be wary of the allocations that you give towards them. Of course, I still like to keep myself more weighted towards Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of long-term accumulation. Without further ado, let's get into the 5 altcoins. The first altcoin I want to discuss is Rollbit. I guess you could say it's been kind of a controversial one in the past, but one thing about Rollbit that's not dubious is the sheer power of the fee generation that it has. Over the past 24 hours alone, it's done almost $1 million in 24-hour casino revenue, $282,000 worth of crypto futures revenue, and $182,000 worth of sports revenue. They've burnt over 1% of their total supply just because they're so profitable, and I think it's an example of a product that has a great product market fit. It's gained adoption relatively quickly, and it's managing to generate more revenue than a lot of the most bona fide solidified crypto projects in the space. And yes, it definitely has some concerns, like the founders aren't doxxed. There's obviously an inherent risk when it comes to an industry that's relatively fickle like the gaming industry, but its revenue generation power is undeniable, and I still think it's at a reasonable valuation. Like if we look at its fully diluted, it's a 771 mil compared to the amount of fees that it's generating. If you run a DCF or a discounted cash flow model, you'll note that it still comes in at a reasonable valuation if you expect the revenue of the platform to continue to grow. And I think considering we're heading into sports season with the NFL kicking off, the NBA kicking off, also they just announced a partnership with Napoli, one of the biggest football teams in the world, it's safe to say that the sportsbook still has a lot of room to grow. And also on the casino side, let's be completely honest, it's a boring market. It's not very volatile. Not many people are trading. And for that reason, there's been kind of a cap on the futures revenue that it can generate in this climate. And what's actually kept the revenue of Rollbit really steady is actually its casino revenue. So I think what they're doing is they're using the crypto futures revenue as a gateway to get people onto the platform and then funneling them into more profitable sectors of the site, for example, their casino. So it's quite an interesting model, and for that reason, it is on my accumulation list. Now, what's the plan? All of the altcoins that I talk about in today's video, I'm going to outline the TA and outline my plan, because as I said, each of these are over different time horizons. Rollbit, I think, is probably on a slightly shorter time horizon. I don't imagine this will necessarily be the leader in this space for like the next 3 to 5 years. Like, let's say an Ethereum or, maybe a Solana or a project like that could. It obviously has a little bit of a smaller time frame. It's more cyclical based on investors' appetite for on-chain risk. And because the appetite for on-chain risk has diminished slightly over the last couple of weeks, we have seen a relatively substantial pullback from its peak of 22 cents down to the support level here at 14 to 15 cents. So this is actually a support zone. If you don't own any Rollbit and you want to DCA in, I think that's a decent level, but you also have a major level at 10 cents. It's a psychological level, and then a big structural horizontal support level at the 6 to 7 cent range. This would be a level where I went in with like much bigger buys, and these support levels until then would act as nice top-up zones for me. I'm DCAing into this one slowly. I accept that I'm not going to be able to time the cyclical nature necessarily of on-chain trading, so I'm just deciding, because I'm bullish on Rollbit, I'll just continue to average in. Of course, you've got to make your own decisions as to whether you're bullish as well. I am seeing this argument starting to float around though on crypto Twitter that, because Stake had an issue with the recent exploit, that, all this money's going to flow into Rollbit. I do want to just discredit that slightly and say that, look, if Stake can get hacked, there's no shadow of a doubt that Rollbit could get hacked. So I'm not saying that it will. I'm just saying it's always an inherent risk with a platform like this. I don't necessarily think it's like a fundamental catalyst for Rollbit, although maybe you do see some user flow from Stake to Rollbit. I don't really view them as competitors. Stake's the big dog in the gambling industry. Rollbit's like a little niche crypto casino. I don't even think it's a top 4 casino in the overall space, because you've got things like Roobet, etc., which still take up the lion's share of the market. So that is just something I wanted to note. And yeah, as I said before, it's not the most safe bet. Some of the altcoins I'm going to talk about now are slightly safer. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about an altcoin which is slightly riskier, because I wanted to give you a balance of different altcoins that I'm looking at from a risk perspective. I didn't just want to give you like, Ethereum, which I'm obviously accumulating, and like Bitcoin and like all these big coins, because you know that I'm accumulating some of the larger caps. I want to kind of give you a more interesting look into some of the different trends in the market throughout these videos. So another trend that I find very interesting in the market is the layer 0 trend. Now, layer 0 is fast approaching. I think we will see an airdrop at some point, maybe in Q1 next year. It is really a solution I think a lot of the market is hanging out for, because we have this clear need for interoperability in the market. Like, I think we are going to need solutions or infrastructure to power a multi-chain future. That's the only way that crypto is going to be fully usable from a user perspective, and layer 0 is filling this gap, and that's one of the reasons why they raised over $263 million at a $3 billion valuation, and they have backers like Circle, Sequoia, A16Z, Samsung even, OpenSea, Lightspeed, Bond, NGC, Christie's even, the auction house, Christie's invested, like pretty big backers, because they know the power of this technology, and we also know the power of the airdrop. I've talked about the airdrop a lot on my channel. You guys know that I have been airdrop farming for layer 0. I think it could be one of the most lucrative airdrops in the market, but because it could be a lucrative airdrop, I also think it's going to come with a lot of hype. Unfortunately though, you can't buy the layer 0 token right now until it's airdropped. That's why I'm looking at other proxy bets in the layer 0 ecosystem as a potential hype play leading up to the airdrop, and potentially even beyond if we see an increase in TVL flowing on to the layer 0 related dApps. The first one that comes to mind is Radiant Capital. It's a top 2 dApp on layer 0 alongside Stargate. It's essentially a money market that allows you to borrow assets cross-chain pretty seamlessly across a variety of chains. They actually just announced that they're launching on the Ethereum mainnet as well. So Radiant's been expanding rapidly, and it's actually a really good underlying product. So I do view that as a proxy bet. If we do look at the chart though, the chart doesn't look great and it's bleeding. So this is one where you really have to kind of determine your time horizon. If you're a longer term investor and you believe in the protocol, it probably doesn't matter so much. For me, I'm going to be a little more selective with this one, because as I said, for me, it's more of like a hype trade into layer 0. Maybe I'll keep some position into the layer 0 launch, because TVL could flow onto the chain. And for that reason, there are a couple levels I'm marking out. The 24-cent level is super important. If we can reclaim this level and reestablish a bullish trend, and we can call this the lows or even a deviation below range low, then this could be a good place to jump in. I'll just move my face so you can actually see it, because I am currently on OBS and you've got to manually move it. So yeah, that would be a decent level, I think. And then you've also got the support level that we're currently at, which is at the 21-cent zone, which is holding on right now, but it does look slightly shaky. So if we do see a drop below, then we're just going to have to be patient here and look for a Radiant bottoming formation. But for the ones with a longer term time horizon, I don't mind the concept of DCAing into a position over time. And in fact, I even have a rule when I'm investing. If I like a project and I don't know when to buy, and if the chart looks bad, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in with 30% of my ideal bag, and then over time I'll DCA into the remaining 70%. That's what I did with Rollbit. When we first got a big Rollbit dip on the run up, because you guys see we have these expansionary periods, contractionary, expansionary, contractionary, expansionary, and then we have another contractionary period for Rollbit. On these dips, I was accumulating. So I did my first 30%, then I did another 30%, and then I did another 30%. And once you get to 100%, that's your ideal weighting. You can start looking at rebalancing versus the rest of your portfolio. So that might mean taking profits on pumps, and making sure you're adequately weighted. By the way, I don't think I got my final 30% into Rollbit. I'm still waiting for, in case we get down to those lower levels, but I'm using it as an example of kind of a strategy that you can implement if you don't quite know when to buy it. Because a lot of people, they try and time the bottom, and a lot of traders, they also do, and I get it because they're traders and they want the cloud of collecting the bottom. But the reality is in crypto, it's hard all the time to pick the exact bottom. And for that reason, if I believe in a narrative, I'll usually just DCA around major support levels, keeping in mind that I'm okay to put in, let's say 30% of my capital up front and then save 70% for major trend reversals. For example, the reclamation of Radiant at the 24-cent zone, or a bottoming formation that starts to look like a clear entry opportunity. And there are many indicators you can use, like the RSIs, that I just keep it fairly simple. I draw in my horizontal trend lines. I look for the continuation to the upside, which would represent itself by higher lows in confluence with bullish market conditions. So let's say like a Bitcoin move, and then that might be a sign that I'll get in another 30%. But without getting too technical on the DCAing front, fundamentally, I do like this layer 0 trade. Another one that you can look into if you want to diversify. I don't know how you want to split it. Depends on your bullishness, like 50-50, 70-30, 60-40. Really depends on you, but that's Stargate. It's one of the top 2 dApps as well on layer 0, and I think this is also a proxy bet for the layer 0 ecosystem. So this is also something I'm actively looking at accumulating in the lead up to Q1 layer 0 airdrop. Yes, it may be delayed, but we do know that a launch is inevitably coming, and when it comes, I think it could be great for the protocols in the ecosystem, and that's why I'm taking this trade. Okay, you're going to want to stick around because I still have 2 more altcoins that I want to share with you. One is a bit of a longer term play, but I'm starting to see some stuff from a fundamental perspective starting to brew. And then the other one is a slightly riskier play, but it's in a narrative that I actually think long term can really shake up the crypto space. And it's also one that I'm extremely bullish on. So we're going to get into all that stuff and more, but just quickly, I want to give a shout out to one of my official channel partners, XCAD, which actually allow you to do something pretty cool. Like, you're on YouTube right now, presumably, I mean, you are watching the video on YouTube, right? You can actually earn money for watching videos like this one just for watching. It's not a gimmick, it's not a scam. You can actually just watch videos on YouTube and get paid for doing so. So I want to give you a quick run through of how this actually works and why it might be a good opportunity for those of you that are interested in SocialFi. We saw FriendTech just take the Twitter world by storm. I think this application, which is of course XCAD, can also do the same thing on the YouTube front. So let me run you through how it works. The first thing that you need to do is add XCAD to your Google Chrome browser. They also just announced the launch of their iOS app, so if you want to download it for your phone, you can do that as well and add it to your home screen. Once you've downloaded the Google Chrome extension, you can go onto XCAD and create an account so you can start earning money for watching videos. Now, what you do is you go to the play section, then you click on buy nerd. These are essentially NFTs that you need in order to earn revenue for watching videos. So the higher level of NFT you get, let's say you get a rare or a legendary, you're going to earn more money for watching videos. And if you get a common, you're going to earn less. So it depends on how much you watch YouTube and how much you're using the app. For the example of today's video, I'm going to mint a rare box, and you can do this via their fiat currency on-ramp. So you can pay with essentially a debit card, or you can do this with BNB in your wallet as it's on the BSC smart chain. So let me open a box right now. Okay, as you can see, the rare NFT that I minted is a level 30 NFT here that I can actually click on activate, so you can hold multiple NFTs in your wallet. And once he's activated, I'm going to get all the benefits of his attributes when I'm watching videos. So if you go to the play section of the website, you can scroll down and look at the creators. All the creators here are going to enable you to earn yield for watching their videos. XCAD has some big backers such as Mr. Beast and KSI. So this isn't just some random platform. This is backed by like the biggest names in the YouTube and the entertainment space. As you can see, like Harry Styles, Lil Baby, Taylor Swift, they're all onboarded onto the platform. So just by watching like their music videos, you can actually earn. I'll show you exactly how it works now. So let's say I want to like watch a Marshmello music video. I can click on the video here. Then what it's going to do is it's going to pull up one of the videos. All I need to do is click on it. And essentially, if the XCAD plugin is activated, if I start watching the video, it's going to start earning yield for me. Now, if I watch over 80% of the video, then it's going to qualify me for watching. As you can see in the top right, it's notifying me that the play video is being watched. And once I hit the 80% mark, then it's going to qualify me for rewards on this video. But let me go through and watch even more, and then I'll cut back and show you how much I made. So what you can see is that I watched 3 videos and I made around $19, $18.83 to be exact. So not too bad. Like if you watch like, let's say 10 videos a day, these can be short videos of like a couple minutes, then theoretically you could make like $30, $40 a day. So it's a pretty good ROI time-wise, especially if you're kind of watching these videos anyway, and they've got so many creators here, like odds are you probably watch a lot of these people. If you just, install the app, then you can earn some money for doing so. So I think it's awesome. One thing to note as well is that you're getting paid in the play token, so not their governance token XCAD. That way the XCAD token itself doesn't suffer like through the dilution of being the reward token for like millions of users. Play is currently in season 1, meaning you can buy X XP or consumables to increase your earning power over time. So I've left a link in the description if you want to check it out and try it out for yourself. Of course, only use the app if you actually think you'll get a benefit from it. I'm not saying you should, buy an NFT if you don't watch any YouTube. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. But if you do and you find the concept interesting, at least maybe check them out through the link in the description. And let's get on with the rest of the video where we're going to cover these remaining 2 altcoins that are on my accumulation list. So the first one is Solana. Now, this is a very interesting one because, my portfolio is quite ETH heavy. Like if I look at the lay of the land at the moment, you have Ethereum as a dominant ecosystem. You have layer 2s as like a super dominant ecosystem that are gaining a lot of funding, gaining a lot of traction. And there's just a lot being built around the Ethereum network. And because of that, because of the wealth effect that we're seeing on Ethereum, my portfolio allocation wise has become like quite ETH dominant, right? I'm looking for ways to diversify out of the ETH ecosystem and make bets on other great ecosystems that aren't necessarily EVM related. And 2 of these come to mind. 1, the Cosmos ecosystem and the dApps in that ecosystem. And number 2, the Solana ecosystem. Because I think that when I'm looking at a non-EVM L1 bet that has high throughput, Solana stands out as like really a top 2 option in the market at the moment. And for that reason, I think it deserves a place in my portfolio because the developer ecosystem is so strong. The community is so strong. If you've ever been to like the Breakpoint Solana conferences, they're absolutely amazing. You would know the power of the community. And a lot of big applications have chosen Solana as their home. Even Visa recently announced in what was quite a bullish announcement for Solana that they are going to be accepting USDC payments using the Solana blockchain. So they have official integration there. When Nick Carter says that it's a huge deal, writing on the wall, stables will become de facto interbank settlement solutions via card networks. Even my non-crypto fintech friends are fired up about this. So it's not just good for Solana, it's good for the crypto ecosystem in general. And Sol is just a chain that has a lot going on right now. We've got, the Visa announcement. We've got MakerDAO choosing to launch a new chain using the Solana VM. We've got a lot of other protocols, including like new DEX solutions launching on Sol. Quite a bit is happening from a fundamental perspective, and from an on-chain analysis perspective, we can also note that Solana's transaction volume is still in the upper echelon of blockchains. And for that reason, Solana deserves a place in my portfolio, and I'm going to be DCAing into this one over time as a nice hedge, I guess, against the EVM ecosystem. But there is one thing to note. There is potential Solana hitting the market via the whole FTX forced liquidations. We know that they're liquidating a variety of altcoins in order to pay back creditors. And we also know that Solana is their biggest altcoin holding alongside ETH. For that reason, there could be supply pressures coming onto the market, but I'll use those pressures as potential dip buying opportunities for Sol. If we want to talk about how low it could get, let's just use some handy dandy TA to work this out. So if you look at the charts right now, you can see that we are currently in a range structure. You have range high at $26, range low at $10. We did have deviation below this level during the FTX saga, but let's just, for the sake of the video, call that deviation below range low and accept true range low at around $10. So these would be your 2 major levels. Break above $26, and that would be extremely bullish. We had a failed breakout attempt earlier in the year, a few months ago, and get towards the $10 zone, and that could be giving you nice opportunities to accumulate Sol at the extremities of a range. And we know that that will give you the best risk reward from a technical point of view to accumulate Solana. There are a couple mid-range levels to note. The one that we're actually currently on, which is the $19 level. Then you've also got the $14 to $15 level, which is also significant. But I think if you are, wanting to make bigger buys into Sol, you would look towards these lower targets, 15 and 10, and maybe even 8 if we deviate back down below again. I'm not so convinced it will happen, but obviously if we do get an opportunity to accumulate at those levels, I would definitely be a buyer at $8 to $10 Sol. Once again, don't know if we get there, but if we do, I would view that as a gift because I'm bullish on the ecosystem long term, and it has a nice place in my portfolio for the reasons that I previously discussed. So Solana is definitely one on my list, one I'm DCAing into slowly, building up a position, going heavier on extreme red days, and going heavier alongside those extreme red days on the days where we have significant tests of key support levels. It's always best to buy support instead of buying in no man's land. I think you'll find risk reward wise, it gives you kind of a good technical way of thinking about the market that makes risk management a lot easier. So that is Solana, a bit more of a long-term play, but one that definitely deserves to make this list as it's one that I've been actively thinking about recently, also alongside the Cosmos ecosystem that I'm not going to talk about today, but I'm certainly bullish on. So if you guys guys want to do a little more research to that in your own time, you can, and I'm sure I'll do a tweet or a video on it in the future. Okay, the fifth altcoin that I am accumulating is, drum roll please, Unibot. So this is an interesting one because it's been fudded a lot recently. Look, some of their competitors have come onto the market, like BananaBot, taken up some market share, and it has caused a lot of FUD. There's been FUD because one of the team members' telegrams got hacked, and that came alongside a drop in overall revenue because on-chain trading volumes diminished during a period, of market apathy. And we've also seen, just a lot of FUD over on Twitter. And that has resulted in, alongside just a general reduction in on-chain trading activity, a decreased Unibot price. So Unibot was extremely explosive in the run-up. It was really synonymous of like this mini on-chain bull run we were getting. It basically has reversed a lot of its gains now, trading at levels not seen since mid to late July. So for those who didn't get an entry on Unibot but are still bullish on the Telegram bot narrative like I am, you are starting to get better entries, and now you're buying it at a valuation lower than 100 million. Now, could this go lower? Well, technically speaking, yes. There is a major support level at the $40 to $50 zone that you do have to take note of. You've also got a clear level at the $100 zone, which obviously if Unibot reclaimed and started to successfully work its way out of, then that could also be a good level to play like the bullish reversal play. For me, I'm not so much of a trader, and I think because of the lack of historical data on coins like this, it's difficult to look at these levels. These levels for me are more just psychological levels that I can, position myself around. In terms of trading this, I'm more just DCAing over time because I do believe in it, and any major dips we're getting on Unibot, I'm buying. Now, what are the reasons for that? Well, firstly, I believe that Telegram trading bots are actually quite revolutionary. Like, if you haven't used it, I recommend checking them out because they basically allow you to set limit orders and get better execution on your trading, like from the comfort of your phone, instead of having to go into your computer and use a MetaMask and mess around with it and get crazy slippage. So they actually do definitely improve the trading experience for users. And when I think about like the next billion people that are going to come into crypto, they aren't necessarily going to want to use a MetaMask and use these complicated dexes. They're going to want easy ways, like just booting up a Telegram app on their phone and, plugging into a trading bot to access crypto. Now, that's more of the long-term vision why I'm bullish behind front ends like this, but more in the short term, look, we have seen a dip, we've seen trading volume diminish, but if the market comes back and, the apathy starts to dry out of the market and we get a wave, whether that be through like a Bitcoin, spot ETF, concrete announcement, or some kind of catalyst, or even some fuddish event that triggers on-chain activity, I think these numbers will pick up as we see more buyers and sellers stepping in. It's really the lack of volatility that's not just killing Telegram bots, but it's killing like exchanges and perp dexes and anything that relies on trading volume at the moment. So for that reason, I'm just DCAing into it. I'm accepting of the fact that we do have this $40 level. If it did get there, I would also be an interested buyer at that level, but I just think it is a good protocol. The team has been shipping lots of new products. They recently partnered with OKX's Web3 wallet. They just upgraded the Telegram interface. They've got more stuff coming over the coming months. So yeah, it's a product I like, and for that reason, I have been buying some Unibot. So that is my list of coins in today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Just to summarize, we've got Rollbit for like a bit of a riskier, but a bit of a fun one based on their just sheer revenue generating potential. You've got Radiant and Stargate heading into the layer 0 catalyst that is on the horizon. You've got Solana, which is more of a long-term bet for me, but some nice fundamental developments happening over there. And you've also got Unibot, a bet on an upcoming sector that's quite exciting after a pretty significant pullback. So those are the altcoins. All of them have different time horizons. All of them have different technicals. Obviously, I want you to do your own research. Don't just ape because I'm talking about something. The best thing that I can do as a creator is point you in the right direction of interesting trends and interesting narratives, and then you, in your own time, can go and research them and develop your own theses. I think that's the valuable part of me as a creator, because I can help give you these ideas and hopefully help give you a little bit of inspiration behind your own trading and investing journey. Of course, in the way of entertainment purposes only, because nothing I say in this video should be construed as financial advice, of course. If you aren't subscribed, but you did like the video, remember to subscribe below, and I will see you next week, and I'll also see you on Twitter. So if you're not sick of me already, I'll see you then, I guess. Peace out. Have a lovely day.